Hello and welcome to Positteam. I'm Next. My real name is Mindaugas and I am from Lithuania. Any Lithuanians? Hello there. I'll explain why I'm speaking in English right away. Well, for starters, it's unusual for Lithuanian to speak English, right? And hopefully, I'll be speaking with the whole world, as that's my intentions, and make Lithuania a little bit more popular country. I don't know. I really had no choice while being born somewhere, but my life was pretty intense and pretty interesting. That's one of the things that I will want to share in this channel. But mostly, the Positteam is going to hopefully be a community where people will be able to share any kind of positive experience or any kind of experience to turn into positive stuff. Basically, anything positive can come in here, because that's where I'll be collecting I'll try to search for the most positive videos, for the most positive games, paintings, whatever brings good emotions or is very meaningful. Basically, talking about meaning, I will also try to find more meaning in words, try to define words, like try to define word love, as it's the most common word, but do we really understand what it actually means? So in this community, I'll try to develop a language where we would know certain words and we would establish a certain meaning for them, so we would be more likely to use them. I know it's a very interesting thing for those who has English not their first language, I would say. Is it was interesting for me to learn the English language and see how can I use it even more efficiently. And it's kind of an efficient language compared to the Lithuanian languages. I really like English more in that sense, and also of course it's international. I can talk to anyone with this language and whatever. I am. So we'll see how that goes. Also, I will want to send a few video messages. I think that's uncommon in the internet to actually, maybe I'll want to thank a certain person, or maybe I want to pick a few things about them that maybe I liked or hated. Just give as much opinion as I can. And it's basically, this channel is about me giving a lot of opinion. And also, I will want to hear your opinion. Whatever you will type in those comments, try to make it as much valuable as possible by being objective. I hope you... Yeah, it's very important for you to know what subjective and objective opinion is. I will expand on the idea which I created, really. Well, I heard about subjective and objective opinion in a pretty shitty school, actually. I'm still going to the school, which might, blow some minds for some people. But basically, yeah, it was pretty random. I was in a lesson of ethics, I think. Aesthetics, yeah, aesthetics, not ethics. So it kind of links to philosophy and some thinking of beauty, and also it has the perspective, I think, the way they describe beauty. You can describe it subjectively through your own feelings, or objectively to what is obvious, what is the truth, basically. So since objective opinion is more closer to the truth, I will try to establish this with you and try to communicate with that kind of language, with objective language, because subjective language usually tells more about the person who's saying something. So you would say that I'm dumb without giving me any kind of arguments that would make your fact or just comment objective, because arguments make stuff objective. So, if you don't give that means, aren't you dumb for even saying that to me? Which I will obviously ignore because I'm smarter than you think, I guess. So it kind of makes you dumb. So, yeah, the subjective opinion basically tells more about the person itself rather than the object he's trying to describe. That's the very essence of the whole Positteam channel, I would say. As if I'm trying to talk and trying to think for you, like think some interesting thoughts or define words, as it's logical stuff that we have to establish here in the world. Like, I think it's so freaking important. I think it's so like valuable that such a person like myself, like I'm not really confident person. I'm not really a good person to lead something at all, like to be a leader. I'm not even that age anyways. I still have a lot to learn and a lot to create myself. I'm a programmer. I trying to make a game and trying to make certain rules that would give a lot of freedom to the player and give as much fun as possible, not just to work as a programmer, which I am kind of doing, but we'll see how it goes. I will not go into any details on that. Anyways, so I'm a creative person myself, but I still see a need to express myself somehow, and I see a gap that I can't really find a good channel to attach to, so I'll have to create my own channel. Well, there's a lot of inspiration from other channels, but whatever. This kind of stuff will come out of messages, I will be sending messages to certain people, thanking them maybe for inspiring me to do something like that. As it's very important to open yourself to criticism, as if you want to become a strong personality or whatever. So I think it's very important even for a programmer to have a strong personality, as he is supposed to talk about his game and show his passion about his game. That is also includes establishing a community. If Notch could be more of have a bigger personality, because the community actually established a bigger personality about him than he actually could take care of, and now he sold to Microsoft, the biggest game ever, and that's the thing that I want to recreate, the game, and actually I want to establish a personality so I could hold on to this game forever, more or less, maybe 10 years at least. I will be able to hold on to the game and establish a really positive experience for people. And positive is just the trademark. It's such a good word, right? Anyways, besides that, besides telling my own story, besides, defining words, I will also try to define symbols, as trying to find as much meaning in symbols is also pretty important, as there's so many symbols around, but we don't really care that much, I think, for what they could mean, rather than, oh, what's the meaning of that symbol, without really thinking what could be the meaning, because what could be the meaning usually is the meaning. It's what meaning do we find ourselves is basically the meaning. Everything what we think is true has a part of the truth. And the more objective we are, the more closer to the truth we are. The biggest thing about the channel is basically trying to find truth. Trying to find what is the best definition of the words, what is the best definition of symbols, trying to be most objective. All of this must lead to the best solutions. As 100 years ago, you would say the best solution to write something down. Okay, you want to write down some thoughts that you have in your head. And so 100 years ago, it would be, maybe typewriter or just piece of paper and pen and piece of paper. You just write thing down. So, or you write a book. But now it all can be digital. It all can be made in a computer, and you can even share it a lot faster. Or you can even make a video of your thoughts, and that's the format that I have chosen. I think that's the very best and very easiest to do. I certainly wrote a book. Certainly got a bit of an attention, as it was local. It was for Lithuanians, about some of snippets of my story. But to make a real impact, I think I have to show myself to the camera, show myself to criticism, establish a personality over time, because the start is always difficult, and it's not going to show too much of myself, and I cannot really show too much of myself. Well, there's a lot of stuff to figure out, actually, why beginnings are so difficult. But basically it's the complexity, the deeper you go, the more complex it becomes. Right now it's not that much of complexity. I bought new equipment. I had to learn how to use the new equipment. I guess that's the hardest part until you start, and then you kind of have to understand how to grow the community. As it's kind of scary, you will have followers or something. That is a pretty scary thing, since I didn't had any. I didn't really had any much, support from the outside. So I had to, establish something very amazing in me to try to get that support, and hopefully this will help. Anyways, the one thing about the channel, maybe two things. There will be two rules: that I cannot cut the video at all, as I think it's more positive. It's more like showing off myself a little bit more. I mean, I could condense information, but it's not that good. It's actually me trying to not make any mistakes at all, which will also develop a good skill. You cannot cut anything. You have to be as much valuable in every moment as you can. I think that is very important skill to develop. And the second rule would be for you guys to basically be a part of the community. If you want to be a part of the community, is basically watch most of the videos and try to share your own opinion. Because establishing your own opinion, you might have different experience, and you probably have different experience of life, so your opinion really matters of how you understand the stuff is. And we really have a good intuition about how stuff really is. As long as we think objectively, our intuition is getting better and better as we understand the reason behind the things, rather than our own emotions trying to define the reason or something complex as that. I was really not prepared for a few parts, as you can see. But anyways, that would be almost it. As being the part of the community, I'm trying to establish a community, not leadership or just personality. One personality, a channel which has one person constantly talking about different things. I will be asking, for people to submit their own videos, or maybe even try to call in for the show. That would be the quote, but basically to call me in on Skype, and we could arrange some kind of debate or something. That would be interesting. Or maybe they would just want to express their own experience, or whatever happens, whatever creative thing, you want to share your game idea, or whatever thing that you're working on, thing that you're passionate about, thing that you think is positive, you can share it with me. I might share it with everyone, because that's what it's all about. It's all about trying to find positiveness and try to share it. So that's about it. That's about the basics of the channel, and I'll see you guys talking about my story. So I hope you engaged with what I'm doing. See you guys next time. Goodbye.